And Tour Endurance brings us back to our roots for the halfway point of this season, the Funnel Endurance Classic. Moneymakers still on top, 9 points over our host team Sunrise, with Party Crashers, Blue Brigade, and recent gold medalist Grayscales in hot pursuit behind.
So the Funnel Endurance Classic, of course, 2 heats of 8, where the top 4 from each advance to the final. The event is all about endurance. You want to avoid dropping down the funnels and keep your spinning in the funnels to stay at the top as far as possible.
Now you see, in Season 2, there are 2 different funnel types. You got the wider ones, where there's a lot more contact and it's much easier to just get pushed onto by your competitors, and then the transfer into the orange, which is, there's a lot more orange ones, and it's a lot more imposing, but you'll find less competitors in those ones. There's a bit of a jumble in the opening, as we move on to the main show, with Serpent Speeders, Citrus Sprinters, and many others down to the White Knights.
Many others trying to catch the championship leaders at the top of the standings, who will set themselves apart in the first funnel. This is a very important funnel to start things off. It looks like the Croissant Crew is positioning themselves well, along with the Citrus Sprinters.
Croissant Crew, the final stander in that top funnel, while the Hellclowns are the first to drop into the orange, which is the bulk of the race, so it's fine if you're falling through this early on, but the Croissant Crew, nice wide arc over the rest of their competitors, Citrus Sprinters and Serpent Speeders, or as they just come on through there, as I say that.
You can really gain a lasting advantage if you stay in those larger funnels for a longer time. And that shows with the Croissant Crew, they are still in the highest funnel. Serpent Speeders also positioning themselves well, while the White Knights and the Citrus Sprinters, the opposite.
Citrus Sprinters were doing very well toward the front. Those top funnels can be good if you can hold your momentum afterwards, but Citrus Sprinters have absolutely plummeted afterwards. Grayscales joined them, but there's many battles going on. Croissant Crew are starting to fall back, while the White Knights and Citrus Sprinters are already starting to come on through down below. They will not be moving on to the final.
So just 2 marbles left before we see who transfers. Sweet and Sours will drop on through, and the Serpent Speeders, a marble that was doing so well earlier of the course, they are not going to be moving on.
And the Croissant Crew will actually be beat at the very end by the Party Crashers Wanderer, who won our previous funnel event, the elimination race, over, I believe, the Sweet and Sours, who are out in this round. So we might have another podium contender from the Party Crashers, but Sweet and Sours not the best funnel run here compared to their previous efforts.
Of course, Party Crashers definitely one to watch out for, winning both the previous funnel event and their heat here. Marbles are going to be fearing that marble as they head to the final.
Grayscales, Hellclowns, and the Croissant Crew will be joining them. Grayscales back on a bit of a upwards trend after the previous event, especially considering their championship history in this season, in this tournament. Green Peacocks down to the Silly Slimes in heat number 2.
So we'll see who joins the other 4 in the final. Looks like, I think that's the Moneymakers not doing too well, but then they managed to bring it back a little. We have 3, 4, 5 entries into the second final.
A very close battle up front, but Steel Force do win that out over the Green Peacocks, at least for now. There's still a whole lot of ground to make up before the teams like Marauders and Onion Union, who are falling on through. Everyone's starting to pile into the orange now as the Silly Slimes file up into second place, while Steel Force are the last runners in those top big funnels.
So Steel Force positioning themselves very well. Meanwhile, the Marauders and Onion Union all the way at the bottom.
Steel Force have already fallen down and are now in a 3-marble pack with the Moneymakers and the Blue Brigade. Blue Brigade take the lead very briefly before falling back toward the Steel Force, who are now going to lose out to the Green Peacocks, who take the lead.
The Green Peacocks have now usurped the Steel Force, but Steel Force trying to hold on, but they didn't drop on through like 2 funnels in a row. Meanwhile, at the bottom, Marauders and Onion Union. Those 2 marbles have not been doing well, and the Marauders drop off, followed by Onion Union.
Moneymakers come on through, championship leaders, along with their runner-ups, Team Sunrise. Both of them will miss out on the final. This is a huge chance for the advancing Party Crashers. Meanwhile, look at the Green Peacocks. Masterful movement, a whole funnel ahead of the rest of the pack.
Green Peacocks trying to make a statement to perhaps the Party Crashers and the rest of the marbles in the final. But what a surprise, the top 2 in the championship knocked out in the heat. This is a big opportunity for the other teams to catch up.
Things are starting to get exciting at this point in the games. But look at the Steel Force seems to know what they're doing in those top funnels. They just pushed everyone down and held it up there. And this transfer point, you can store yourself very briefly at that little post between the 2 points. But look at these battles. The top 4, Silly Slimes, Moneymakers had a bit of a fall, along with the Blue Brigade. And look at the Marauders and Onion Unions had a terrible time. Green Peacocks had a bit of a resurgence, as now here you see the 4 that move on to the final.
Yeah, this heat really showed that if you do not get off to a good start, that could really be to your detriment, as we saw with the Onion Union and the Marauders. So you see 9th through 16th, the best of the rest goes to the host team Sunrise. Meanwhile, White Knights and for Sprinters make up the bottom 2.
And now, the final begins. The Hell Clowns, Silly Slimes, Croissant Crew, Blue Brigade, Party Crashers, Green Peacocks, Grayscales, and the Steel Force, who will take the gold in this classic Tour de Endurance event.
It looks like Grayscale and Party Crashers positioning themselves well in the blue funnel. We have 4 marbles left in top funnel now, 3. Who will emerge in the lead after the first funnel?
It will be the Green Peacocks, who usurp both the Grayscales and the Party Crashers. Look at this, the Blue Brigade have already plummeted down 2 of the orange funnels, with many others already joining them down there. Look at the Grayscales and Green Peacocks, massive movement in those top 2 funnels. This is going to be huge for them.
It was a great duel between those 2, but the Green Peacocks still hold the lead. Meanwhile, on the other end, Hell Clowns and Blue Brigade trying to avoid last place.
Green Peacock still holding that lead over the Steel Force in 2nd place. There's the Croissant Crew in 3rd place, but there's still much of this track to go. If there's any opportunity for any of these marbles to win, the Blue Brigade and Hell Clowns, though, need some better spinning in these final few funnels of this race.
Who will drop on through first? It is the Blue Brigade in the final funnel. Then it's the Silly Slimes. Who will drop on and get 8th place? It's going to be, I think... Oh, that's the Grayscales. Grayscales just plummeted on through.
Right, I'm looking up top. The Green Peacocks have fallen all the way down to the final. They usurp Steel Force for the bronze, but that's the Croissant Crew and the Party Crashers. The final 2 remaining, silent but deadly. Who's it going to be for the final? It will be the Party Crashers. Wanderer with the 2nd gold in the final event. He's unstoppable on the funnel so far this season. Goodness me.
The Party Crashers have done it once again. They go back to back in the funnel events and have established themselves as one of the best teams in the funnels. Green Peacocks will get the bronze, Croissant Crew a hard-fought silver, but no one can beat the Party Crashers in these type of events.
Oh, I'm so upset for the Green Peacocks. Look at the lead. They had a full funnel ahead almost, and then they just started falling right there. Steel Force shoved them through, and then Steel Force also must have fallen on through, as they only could manage a 4th place here. Look at this. Steel Force just fell into that battle, and then are pushed through by the Green Peacocks. Huge battles here. Goodness gracious.
So much harder to keep leads when you're in the orange funnels, but the Party Crashers did it best. 1:24.26. They will stand on the podium on the top step.
I'm sure Croissant Crew and Green Peacocks are still happy to be on the podium with that hard-fought battle. Congratulations to all 3 of our podium finishers.
So as we take a look at the standings, the Party Crashers have moved up from 3rd to 1st in the standings with 2 goals along with the Moneymakers. They have usurped them by 8 points. Moneymakers to 2nd, then it's Team Sunrise in 3rd. Next event, another classic event, balancing.